You are about to enter another dimension, a dimension of truth, unfiltered and uncensored. Welcome to the Raw Feed with Gary Franchi.
While you slept, everything shifted. The untouchables are being touched. The reckoning is here.
Lock and load. Welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi, coming to you live from the heart of America. Unfiltered truth to millions on YouTube. Hit those donation links below. Every contribution powers our gear. Every contribution keeps the party going. Help me help you. Hit those donation links.
YouTube channel memberships. Special acknowledgement in the fellowship. Your super chats keep me standing. Your rumble rants fuel every round.
Say hello to super chats.
Spread the intel. Every repost extends our reach.
Super chats fuel this spectacle. Your rumble rants give me strength.
24/7 members-only community, behind-the-scenes discussions.
Connect with fellow patriots.
Share this via text message. Send it to your friends. Text bypasses everything. Just do it. The app is real. Download the Next News Network app. Android user, take the Google Play path. iPhone users, App Store awaits. Breaking news in real time.
It's October 17th, 2025. It's Friday, and the American empire just shifted on its axis. The untouchables are being touched. The protection class is losing protection. And the revolution they promised to lead, it's consuming them instead. Welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi. Now picture this, John Bolton, the man who sent your kids to die in foreign deserts, who leaked state secrets while demanding Trump's head for doing far less, just walked out of federal court. 18 Espionage Act charges, caught red-handed hoarding classified documents in his house, emailing national secrets through his AOL account like some boomer spy novelist. Yet he strolls out without handcuffs, without ankle monitoring, free to sip martinis while January 6 grandmothers rot in solitary. That is your justice system, America. That's the swamp protecting the swamp. But Bolton isn't alone in the dock. James Comey, the 6'8" Boy Scout who weaponized the FBI against a sitting president, who leaked classified memos to trigger a special counsel, who lied under oath with that sanctimonious smirk. Yes, he's finally facing the music. Catherine Herridge has the receipts. Court documents show Comey begging for special treatment, demanding judges ignore his history of alleged leaking. The irony is so thick, you could cut it with a warrant. Meanwhile, in Chicago, the real America is fighting back. ICE agents are storming illegal employment hubs, arresting 2/3 of the Uber drivers at O'Hare Airport, raiding swap-a-rama markets where the underground economy thrived on stolen wages. Protesters in clown noses, yes, actual clown noses, tried to blockade the Broadview ICE facility. Illinois State Police had to move in, and they did. Hard. The circus is over. And for the first time in American history, Antifa terrorists are facing federal terrorism charges. Not protesters, not activists, terrorists. Because that's what you call people who attack federal facilities with explosives. But here's where it gets really interesting. This weekend, they're planning something big. No Kings 2.0, that's what they're calling it. Sounds grassroots, right? Sounds real organic. Sounds like democracy in action. Well, dead wrong. Follow the money. $32 billion from George Soros, $75 million from the Rockefeller Foundation, coordination between Act Blue, the Sierra Club, and wait for it, the Communist Party of America. Over 2,500 locations, paid agitators already confirmed. They're not hiding it anymore. They're advertising it. And leading this charge, Chuck Schumer. The same Chuck Schumer who just shut down the federal government while his party controls everything, right? Donald Trump, he controls the House, the Senate, the White House, but Schumer is holding back. Even CNBC can't spin this. They told Democrat Senator Mark Kelly to his face, you close the government down because you want $1.5 trillion for all these different things. The narrative is collapsing faster than Schumer's approval ratings. While the deep state burns and the streets prepare for chaos, something else is happening. Something that should terrify the old guard even more than indictment. Elon Musk's Optimus robots, they are learning kung fu. Palmer Luckey is taking delivery of personal flying vehicles. Anduril Industries is deploying AI-powered helmets that turn ordinary soldiers into tactical gods. The future isn't coming. It's here. And I guess the best part, it's American, and it's leaving China's stolen tech in the dust. Today, October 17th, marks a convergence. Exactly 238 years ago, the British surrendered at Yorktown, ending their empire's grip on America. Today, we're watching another empire fall, the empire of unelected bureaucrats, forever wars, and two-tier justice. The same people who called you domestic terrorists for questioning elections are being hauled before grand juries. The same judges who rubber-stamped their abuses are being overruled. The same media that carried their water is admitting the truth. The reckoning isn't coming. The reckoning is here, and we're going to show you every single second of it. So lock and load, Patriots. This is the Raw Feed, and the revolution will be televised. Let's welcome you to the show. Pothead Kenny's here. What's up? Bill's Rules, Mrs. Pothead Kenny, Mariner, Rick Hall, Tomby420, Michael Jones, Kim Weig. Who else? Sound off, guys. Who is here today? I'm going through the list. Scon Tech, Tracy Hicks, SLM Boston, the one and only Ron, the Don Prism Ward is here. You guys like that new little intro I snuck in there? Yeah, man, Sora is on fire. Did you guys see all those openings that I put into the segments of this show that we published? The last 5 uploads on the channel? Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Pretty cool stuff, right? Deb Noble, Grizzly Army Ministries, Feranger, Xbox, Gen X, Berlinda, Bella. Who else is here? Scott Maga, Angel Eyes, Tracy Jones, We Dig It. The gang is here. Yes, it is Franchi Friday. I am not wearing my Hawaiian shirt, but I know Tom McCullough is somewhere. Jacqueline is here. What's up? Good to see you. Goosebumps. The revolution will be televised. Andy Fox. GC. Stuzo666. Ooh. From Scotland. Cambodia wants peace, in case you didn't know. Big things might be happening the next couple of days with respect to Cambodian peace. Dave is not here. I don't know. Deb Noble, John Strain, Randy Hill in the Great White North. Everybody is here. So, Brian, what do you say? Should we start the show? Should we get going? I think so. They thought they had him cornered. They thought shutting down the government would make Trump look weak. Well, they thought wrong. Right now, Chuck Schumer is watching his master plan implode in real time as even CNN admits the Democrats own this disaster. The establishment media can't save him now, and the polls are crushing him, his own party turning on him. What started as a power play to squeeze another $1.5 trillion from taxpayers has become a death mission for the Democrat Party. The American people can see through the con, and what they're seeing will shock you. The finger pointing, the panic, the desperation, it's all unraveling live. So stay with me. But did you know that gold has gone mainstream? You're seeing it everywhere. Prices keep climbing. Every day, more and more Americans are catching on to the power of gold. But how do you actually take advantage of it? How do you invest in a way that's safe, simple, and built for the long run? That's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. Noble Gold specialists are trained to help investors like you go from confused to confident, from wondering what's next to knowing exactly what to do. So whether you're looking to roll over an old 401k into a gold IRA, or you want physical coins and bars delivered right to your home, Noble Gold makes the process simple, safe, and stress-free. You'll get step-by-step guidance, transparent pricing, and U.S.-based service from a team that's handled over $2.5 billion in precious metals transactions. With Noble Gold Investments, protecting and growing your wealth isn't just their job, it is their commitment. Visit nextnewsgold.com today to claim your free wealth protection kit. That's nextnewsgold.com, and see if you qualify for that silver bonus, 10-ounce silver flag bar and a 1-ounce silver eagle. Nextnewsgold.com, and Noble Gold helping you build a stronger future. Or you can call that number, 877-646-5347. Tell my buddies over there, Gary Franchi says hello. So we got the shot here. President Trump heading off to Mar-a-Lago for the weekend. There is the boss. He's like, yeah, you guys can have your rallies, you guys can have your shutdowns, but President Trump has bigger plans. He's got a big fundraiser, going to raise some money so he can keep kicking ass. That's what he does. But Brian Krasenstein has a different take. He says, President Trump just left the White House on Marine One as hundreds of thousands of government employees are not getting paid. He's headed to Mar-a-Lago for a $1 million plate dinner for his super PAC. Trump doesn't care about you. No, they just need 9 votes. They just need 9 votes and they can reopen the government. So it's those 9 senators who are holding everything up. They're the ones that don't care about you. But Brian Krasenstein, you know, he has an agenda with his paid Twitter posts. But as we've been warning, it's starting to come to fruition. The airlines are now united in shock. A top official declaring Biden and Buttigieg destroyed U.S. air travel, and the industry never wants them back. Nothing but massive regulations take airlines out of the sky for DI reasons, crushing the industry, all in the middle of this government shutdown where air traffic controllers not showing up to work, calling in sick, and driving Uber.
People in place like Pete Buttigieg. Nobody is pining for the days of Pete Buttigieg. I don't care what political party you're from. If you're in the world of airlines and transportation, nobody wants that administration back. It was nothing but punitive, massive regulations, take 10% of the airlines out of the sky for, DEI and environmental reasons, crushing the industry, completely crippling it. Now you have a president that actually ran an airline, right? The Trump Airlines, loves the airlines, understands its strategical national asset, and is making the real investments, and have put people in place like Sean and Brian Bedford that say, we're going to get it done. They're putting their reputations on it. That hasn't happened before in a long time in government, to say we're going to go after a $30 billion high-tech modernization infrastructure project, and we promise we're going to get it done. That's real money and real leadership.
They're pining for
real leadership. That's what it looks like. And speaking of leadership, we've got this from the Speaker, Mike Johnson, spitting some simple facts. President Trump told Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries not to shut down the government because it would cause real harm to the American people. They ignored him. Now Democrats have cut off government funding, forcing the administration to triage federal spending just to keep critical operations running. Democrats can make the shutdown stop immediately. All they have to do is pass our clean 24-page bill to keep the lights on.
4-page, the president asked Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer himself in the Oval Office, in my presence and with Leader Thune, to please not shut the government down. Before any of this began, we never had to go down this road. But now that the Democrats keep deciding to keep the government shut down, they are forcing the administration to triage federal spending. Why? Because they have turned off the funding streams, Jake. That is what's happened. They can make this stop immediately if they would just do the simple and right thing. Pass our simple 24-page bill that just merely says status quo, keep the lights on. Democrats refuse to do it. They are the ones that are inflicting this pain on the people. The president asked...
They are inflicting the pain. So how much does public opinion matter? Can that shape the outcome of how and when the shutdown gets settled? Dan Sveller asked the 24 site Tom LaBianco to see what he said on this week's edition of In Focus Indiana. How much does public opinion matter? Well, I've been saying for years that it's just, if you have enough ground pressure, putting it back on the elected representatives, things will change. That is how a republic operates. And I've been saying for weeks that groundswell is going to come up from the air travelers and the air traffic controllers.
How much does public opinion matter? Can that help shape the outcome of how and when this gets settled?
I mean that to my mind, that is the determinant. And it's ironic because we've been doing this a while, and we've covered a number of government shutdowns before. It is ironic to hear the Democrats use the messaging which used to be used by the Tea Party and the House Freedom Caucus. And to hear the White House, the House Republicans, Mike Johnson, folks like that, using, these are talking points that, almost sound verbatim for what Nancy Pelosi used to say. And this to the question of why the polling is this way, not everybody, most normal people, as much as politics is omnipresent in the news these days, most normal people are not constantly dialed into it. And, really decades of these battles now have it's baked in. It's almost muscle memory at this point that Republicans take the heat for it. Now, I don't know if that changes. As you've noted, a lot of the polling can vary based on the...
Okay, this guy's getting boring. All right, let's keep going here. Democrat Senator Mark Kelly gets called out for trying to blame Republicans for the shutdown. This is on CNBC.
And only one person in the Democratic Party has broken with the ranks. It's like, I don't understand it. It hasn't been working well for Democrats with Mondani.
This is pretty simple. The government does not have to be shut down. It doesn't have to be shut down. We can
Senator,
fix this here in a matter of just a couple days. This could be easily solved by sitting down at the table.
To get past 60, you need some Democrats to reopen that's what's going to have to happen, Senator. You close the government down because you want $1.5 trillion for all these different things that Schumer wants. That it's obvious to everyone, although maybe you can convince the public that it's the Republicans, but it's not. And only one person
getting called out on CNN. You've lost the plot, buddy. Thinking Out Loud says, cry harder, blaming Democrats for a shutdown when you control the House, Senate, and the White House only proves you can't govern. Representative Ron Estes says the Democrats are holding our country hostage because they refuse to pass a clean funding bill. Lack of action is keeping the government shut down.
Levels. It really is sad for our country that the Democrats are holding our country hostage. You know, several weeks ago, the House Republicans passed a continuing resolution, which basically means we'll continue to fund the government at the current levels until November 21st, while the appropriations process for the entire fiscal year of 2026 is set up. And we didn't want any gimmicks in it. We didn't want any poison pills in that setup. Really is sad
but
for our
of course, the poison pills is exactly what the Democrats want to install. Okay, what do we got here? Nancy Pelosi says the Trump shutdown is bad for us. The American people are hurting and need relief. She says the antidote to his incompetence, cruelty, and lies is to win elections, starting with the big yes on Prop 50 victory in California. Well, she's getting called out by Brad. Bold-faced lies and repeating them doesn't make them true. This is Schumer's shutdown caused by the Democrats not accepting the clean CR. Why are you lying to American citizens? We're not stupid, as you make us out to be. Here's Nancy.
A big win. What we need to do is to be sure that people vote. Some of them are inclined to vote, but...
Yeah, what about the senators, the 9 senators who are not voting? 4 of them abstained from even voting. Is that... yeah. But you're going to call on the people to vote? Sure.
Talk to them. They said, well, I don't even know if I have my ballot. Find it, or let us get you one. But you need to vote. The sooner, the better, because we never know what whatchamacallit may do with the postal system. But you can't take anything for granted. And I know we're going to win. I want a big win. I want a big win. I want a big win. And I want to send a message to you know who. Don't mess with California.
Oh, man. Nancy Pelosi drunk again on camera. Come on, Nancy. Get to those meetings. Your sponsor's waiting for you. Hakeem Jeffries calls Caroline Leavitt sick. She's out of control, demented, ignorant, a stone-cold liar, or all of the above. Eric Doherty says every single one of those words apply to Hakeem and not to Caroline. He's flailing. Oh, man. Dime store Obama.
Speech is a matter of deep concern. Like, we've already seen a rise in political violence and hatred in America. And then you've got...
And who's fomenting that? Hakeem? Who's fomenting that? We got to push back on them. Right? When they go low, we kick them. Right? Oh, yeah, who just got assassinated a couple weeks ago? Who is fomenting that, Hakeem?
Swastikas apparently appearing in the offices of Republican members of Congress. You've got young Republicans engaging in the most anti-Semitic and racist speech possible. Like, this is apparently...
Oh, are you talking about the from the river to the sea? Those are the chants coming from your side, buddy. Free Palestine. Isn't that the chant from your side? Man, this guy is totally upside down, man.
Who many of these people are. They are ripping the sheets off in plain view of the American people.
Unbelievable.
Their words, their actions, revealing themselves in so many different ways. And then you got Caroline Leavitt.
You know, I don't even know how these people can sleep at night. Every single day I see this guy. I mean, the lies that they continue to spew in front of the cameras. Oh my goodness. How does somebody do that? How could someone stare at a camera and straight lie? I guess the only answer is they have no soul. They have no conscience. There's no moral barometer. There's no Christ light inside them. Only darkness, demonic spirits, and hatred. That's the only way these people could possibly continue on in a day-to-day basis, being powered completely by demonic forces.
Who's sick, she's out of control. And I'm not sure whether she's just demented, ignorant, a stone-cold liar, or all of the above. But the notion that an official White House spokesperson would say that the Democratic Party consists of terrorist, violent criminals and undocumented immigrants. This makes no sense.
Actually, it makes perfect sense. You just imported 20 million of them.
That this is what the American people are getting from the Trump administration in the middle of a shutdown. So their actions continue to speak for themselves, which is why they're on the wrong side of public sentiment.
Hakeem Jeffries, Timo Obama. Keep trying, bro. Here is the great leader of these United States talking about Chuck Schumer.
Okay. Mr. President, do you think that the government shutdown is all about this rally that's happening this weekend, the No Kings rally?
No, I mean, some people say they want to delay it for the king. This is
more
not a
than
king. You know, they're referring to me as a king. I'm not a king.
Right. No, but just so that Chuck Schumer could go and say, I'm fighting Trump.
Yeah, well, Chuck is, at the end of the line. He's being beaten by everybody that they poll against him. And, what he did is he did the right thing a couple of years ago on something like this. And he got hurt by his party. And it doesn't, I don't think it matters to him. I think he's just so dead that he'll do anything. I think they could just stay out forever. I mean, to be honest with you. Now, what we're doing is we're cutting Democrat programs that we didn't want because, they made one mistake. They didn't realize that gives me the right to cut programs that Republicans never wanted. Giveaways, welfare programs, etc. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently. We're cutting a $20 billion project that Schumer fought for 15 years to get, and I'm cutting the project. The project is going to be dead. It is pretty much dead right now.
Mr. President, do you think...
It's dead right now. Keep going, Trump. Cut it all. Cut all the fat. This just exposes how much of the government we really need. James Blair talking about the Democrat shutdown. He's the White House Deputy Chief of Staff.
Is for that Chuck Schumer has for many, 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 many years, many times publicly said, you don't shut down the government just so you can debate policy. Policy debates are what Congress is for. That is literally their day job. You don't shut down the government, start hurting people, start hurting the economy just so you can debate about something that should be discussed anyway. It's very simple. Open the government and keep discussing the policy. That's literally what they're elected to do. The fact is, he is being a coward, folding to his left-wing base, who frankly is going to attack him anyway. He just needs to do the right thing, and I hope he does do the right thing. And honestly, we had an okay conversation with him when he was over at the White House with the president, and the president told him very clearly, along with Leader Jeffries, I want to work with you guys on health care. I want to talk to you guys about health care, but you cannot hold the American people hostage. Open the government and let's work on health care and everything else we need to work on. That message was delivered very clearly. The president has said it publicly dozens of times. I don't know what their argument is. What I think is that they really do want health care for illegal immigrants. They really do want to repeal the common sense reforms that we put into law to kick dead people off the Medicaid rolls and these other things. And that's what the left wants. That's what these protesters want. They want free health care for everybody, including illegals. They want things that the American taxpayer should not have to pay for. They have not voted for, and they never agreed to. Chuck Schumer has for many, many, many...
All they got to do is get 9 votes. If you liked that little vignette that I played at the beginning of this segment, make sure you follow us on X, because tomorrow is day 18, Sunday, day 19. We'll be posting the continuation of that saga. You'll see more come Monday. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is bigger than a budget fight. This is about who runs America, elected representatives or career politicians drunk on power. Chuck Schumer just exposed the entire Democrat machine as frauds. They control everything, right? Shut down the government, then blame Trump. They demand $1.5 trillion for their pet projects while American families can't afford groceries. Even their media allies can't cover for them anymore. When CNBC calls out your lies on live TV, when your own base starts questioning the narrative, when polls show you're losing, that's not politics, that's karma. So here's my question. Should any politician who votes to shut down the government forfeit their paycheck until it reopens? Yes or no? Let's have a conversation in the comments. And if you want to show the establishment what you really think, check out our American Badass collection. It's shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, because real Americans don't shut down. We stand up. All right. Do we have any super chats? Okay, let's see. Checking on, it's in stream settings tab, I think. Yes, we do have a super chat. $10, in fact, from Tom B420. What's up, Tom? Thank you for that. We're now $90 away from our target goal tonight of $100. Now we need to talk about what's happening with John Bolton, James Comey, special treatment. Oh, yeah. There's a lot going on here. The untouchables just became very, very touchable. James Comey and John Bolton, two men who thought they were above the law, who weaponized our agencies against us, who leaked and lied with impunity, are now facing the cold steel of justice. But something's wrong with this picture. While January 6 protesters were rotting in cells, while Trump supporters got dawn raids, these deep state princes got velvet glove treatment. Bolton pleads not guilty on espionage charges. Comey's demanding special privileges. The two-tier justice system isn't even hiding it anymore. And what you're about to see will make your blood boil. The evidence is damning. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. So don't look away. And while deep state criminals walk free on espionage charges, hardworking Americans need real protection for their future. The same elite who rigged the system are hoarding wealth while destroying yours. And that's why I trust C60 Evo. This Nobel Prize-winning molecule made lab animals live 90% longer. Now my family is living proof that it works. Brain fog, joint pain, aging, skin, all dramatically improved. It's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C, working at the cellular level where aging actually happens. Chris Burres, he has been perfecting this in his Houston lab since 1991. The link's on the screen. It's linked down below. Visit c60evo.com/NNN. Make sure you use code NNN for exclusive savings because unlike the deep state, your health transformation can't wait. Now we've got the video. Here is the moment John Bolton surrendered.
Classified documents. Bolton arriving at a United States District Court in Greenbelt, Maryland. He is expected to surrender after being indicted on 18 counts over the alleged mishandling of classified documents. Bolton faces 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Bolton.
Great. Now do Hillary Clinton. Ivan Raiklin was there on the scene. 4 hours ago, he posted, I couldn't resist marauding John Bolton and his attorney, Abby Lowell, today. Hat tip to Joseph P. Daniel with the camera work. Give him a follow. Let's check this out. Here is the moment.
He actually did make a utterance earlier because I called him out that I said I would move from my position if he introduced himself, but he failed to do so. You got the escape vehicle where John Bolton is going to escape to and continue to treason freely through his devices. Because guess what? This toxic, feckless, cowardly DOJ and FBI will not perp walk him, meaning Bolton. Got the courthouse. Got the rest of the disinformation purveyors, namely the CIA affiliates over there, MSLSD. And here we go. Here.
It's up, it's up.
We got Politico. What's going on, sir?
There he is.
Mr. Bolton, how are you feeling?
Hey, Mr. Bolton, is Mike Pence going to be ensnared in the conspiracy to defraud the country? Where's Abby Lowe? What are you doing, sir? Doing pretty good? What are you driving?
You're a joke. Mr. Bolton, you're a joke. There goes the rat right there. That's a coward.
Criminal syndicate over in Delaware last year, wasn't it? I'm the guy that asked you, what kind of crack you smoke, Mr. Biden? Yeah, that was me. And you asked me, who do I work for? I work for myself. The American people are wondering, why are you representing Jim Homie Comey? Why are you representing John Bolton? Why are you representing the Biden criminal syndicate? You know why? I know why. Because I've already done the investigation on all of you. It's known as the Deep State Target List. Every single one of you is going to have to face consequences because treason does not have a statute of limitations. If this administration is not going to hold you to account, a future administration will. And guess what? I guarantee it personally. If I'm not around to hold you guys to account, my kids will guarantee that you're held to account.
Hell yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah,
well
baby.
done.
Hell yeah. Dude, Ivan's the man, dude. Ivan is the man, dude. I am glad he's on our team.
Good job.
Yes, good job indeed. That was absolutely epic. And here we have more MSDNCs not having a good morning. The host is desperately trying to discredit the case against Bolton. Even Lisa Rubin, a crook of crooks, can't downplay the severity. The Espionage Act punishes both lawful possession and unlawful removal or sharing of national defense information. Gunther Eagleman says Bolton is going to prison.
National security ballots. So, Lisa, what exactly does the government have to prove here? How tough is it going to be? And I ask that because is it illegal for a national security advisor to keep notes for him or herself? Because Ken made that point. None of this was included in his book. That was out there for the public.
Sure.
So, he's got a big job. He might want to be taking notes.
Taking of the notes while he was national security advisor, Alex, isn't the problem. Where he kept the notes and who he shared them with, according to the government, is the problem. So the Espionage Act punishes both lawful possession and unauthorized removal or sharing of national defense information. It also penalizes having unauthorized possession and either sharing or retaining it. And in Bolton's case, he's accused of both.
Dude, just watching Bolton walk into those doors for an indictment. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, of course, we would have liked to have seen a perp walk, an FBI raid at 6 a.m. like they did the Roger Stone. Maybe some leg shackles. But you see, that's how these deep state operatives work. They have connections that they run very deep. That's why it's called the deep state. They make a couple phone calls, lawyers make phone calls, they cut deals and say, yeah, just let him walk in. Let him surrender on his own terms. I mean, at least if Trump had anything to say here, I don't know if he did. But, these are all operatives working and communicating with each other. But if Trump was like, you know what? He's getting indicted. Let him walk in on his own accord. Maybe that's just Trump showing some grace. Because I'm sure if Trump really wanted to throw the hammer down and really, really make an example of these folks, all he's got to do, pick up the phone, call up Kash, call the U.S. Marshals, and make the order, right?
Of sharing the information with his wife and daughter at a period of time where he was authorized to have the information, but not transmit it to people who themselves didn't have the necessary security clearances to review it or to see it. Similarly, after he was no longer the national security advisor, he had a skiff in his home. The indictment talks about the fact that they come and they decommission the skiff, meaning his home is no longer a safe or authorized place to store classified or sensitive information. Notwithstanding that, after that period of time, John Bolton retains sensitive, classified information not only in his Maryland home and not only physically, but electronically, and he does it in an office that he's maintained in D.C. since 2014, they say. And that's what led to the feds filing 2 search warrant applications and on August 22nd going to both his home and office and taking a bunch of these things away. That's really at the heart of this case. But as Ken has noted, lots of people keep notes. Lots of people in the national security establishment write books. It's the flagrancy with which John Bolton shared this information with his wife and daughter over unauthorized channels. And most importantly, there's a portion of the indictment where they talk about when John Bolton was hacked by somebody close to the Iranian Republic. His lawyer goes to the FBI and says, this happened. but they never tell the FBI what John Bolton was using the account for. They don't disclose that he had shared scores of classified and or sensitive information with unauthorized people through his email. In fact, what they do is they share the email, the threatening email that comes in from the hacker with the FBI. And then what they do after that is they say Bolton's going to delete his whole account. And that is a part of the indictment here.
So, and can I add, these were contemporaneous notes, meaning he's sitting in a meeting and...
Oh, wow. Okay, John Bolton. Here's the results of the arraignment. John Bolton's free to remain out of custody and without supervision, but he's not free to leave the country. Gunther asks, why is he being treated so gently?
He said that his initial appearance in federal court facing 18 counts of mishandling or transmitting classified information. That hearing, it only lasted about 13, 15, 20 minutes. Not long at all for Bolton to be here before a judge. They did get some business done in court today, though, Dana. Bolton not only said that he's pleading not guilty to the judge, and we were told by our producers in the courtroom that he said it quite firmly when he was asked what his pleading was. He also has agreed to give up his passport. He's going to have to get permission if he wants to travel outside of the country as he awaits trial. He was released with no other bond conditions that would severely curtail his ability to move about the world and live here in the state of Maryland. Also, we didn't get a trial date today. That's because, Dana, he was before a magistrate judge. A trial date is very much more likely to be set by the district judge, Judge Ted Schwong. He's going to be hearing from Bolton in late November, just before Thanksgiving. That's the next time the former national security advisor to Donald Trump will be in court. There's going to be some things that happen behind the scenes in the coming weeks, including the evidence that prosecutors have collected over years of investigation that will begin to be handed to the team of John Bolton as they prepare their defenses. Bolton didn't speak at all today, nor did his lawyers, Abby Lowell, primarily his defense attorney, but they have released statements, and Lowell has indicated that he has a couple defenses he's thinking about right now. In a statement yesterday, he said that he called it Bolton's classified information that he's alleged to have kept wrongfully after he left the Trump White House personal diaries. Abby Lowell also said that those are unclassified, shared only with immediate family, and everything here that's been under investigation the FBI looked at years ago. Dana?
Oh, just before Thanksgiving is when we're going to find out the court date for Mr. Bolton. Special treatment, Catherine Herridge shifting to Comey. 72 hours ago, as you know, it was like 2 weeks ago, Comey went in and he was indicted, accused of lying to Congress about a strategic media leak campaign. Every defendant wants full access to discovery materials to mount a defense. In this case, Comey apparently wants the VA court to set aside his history of alleged leaking for personal gain. Question, how many defendants have been granted similar requests? Note, declassified records, FBI Director Kash shows leaks were designed to protect Comey's image and to shape the public narrative. FBI Clinton email plus Trump Russia probes. This is from the 10/13/2025 Virginia court filing. Assert now that Comey, cannot be trusted with receiving discovery in his case, controverts his long career of distinguished government service at the highest levels. Moreover, no one knows the facts of this case better than Mr. Comey himself. So this is the actual filing, and see if we can get it here. Zoom in for you. This is the statement. Mr. Comey, a Virginia licensed attorney, admitted to practice in the Eastern District of Virginia as a former United States attorney for the Southern District of New York, later Deputy Attorney General of the United States. He then became Director of the FBI. In these positions and others, Mr. Comey has been entrusted with some of the most sensitive and highly guarded information in the country. To assert now he cannot be trusted with receiving discovery in his case controverts his long career of distinguished government service at the highest levels. So Comey's asking for special treatment. citing his long history of distinguished service. I would argue long history of distinguished treason. Ken Delanian writes, fresh from the indicting of Trump's top 2 political targets in her first 3 weeks on the job, interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan this week continued to push prosecutors at her Virginia office to change another politically sensitive case involving a Democrat state lawmaker. Comey wants an out-of-district judge to invalidate the appointment of interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan for the Eastern District of Virginia and dismiss the indictment, according to the notice his defense attorneys filed Tuesday. So they're trying to invalidate the appointment, going to the top of it, saying, well, she was not appointed correctly, so therefore the indictment doesn't stick. That is from the National Law Journal. That is part of Comey's defense. Praying Medic writes, Maggie Cleary, who briefly led the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia before Trump ally Lindsay Halligan took over, has been removed from office, according to 2 people. So first it was Maggie Cleary, and then Trump fired her and then put in Lindsay Halligan. This is you can read it on the screen. Excuse me. This government has removed career prosecutor Maggie Cleary from the U.S. Attorney's Office because the Department of Justice used the office to prosecute political opponents. Wow. 24 hours ago, Dr. Jeffrey Horlick. If you think this is compelling, just wait. It's only going to get better. Traitors figures like Mike Pence, John Bolton, James Comey, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, and their fellow conspirators will face justice for their crimes. Nothing can stop what is coming.
We've been son in jail.
This is President Trump in the Oval a couple days ago.
I want to put my son in jail for something that they made up. So they know they made it up. And they say he will serve the rest of his life in prison. These are sick, bad people. And don't tell me about us going after them. If anything, we've been very, very soft. I wouldn't be that soft. I'll tell you that. Thank you very much, everybody.
We've been very, very soft. Maybe that's why we're not seeing raids on these folks' houses. Over on MSNBC, they say it doesn't look good for him.
Slice it. It doesn't look good for him. There's no way to slice it. The details of this indictment do not look good.
Speaking about John Bolton pleading not guilty to federal charges, it doesn't look good. MSNBC reporting that. New York Post headline 8 hours ago, ex-Trump special counsel Jack Smith has now been referred to the DOJ for misconduct and potential disbarment. Oh yeah, all the rats are going down. Let's take a look at this from the New York Post. Ex-Trump special counsel Jack Smith referred to DOJ for misconduct potential disbarment. Oh, come on. Do I have to do all the block? I don't want all these ads. Can we just get rid of these ads? I know how you guys feel. Okay. Another ad. Former special counsel Jack Smith was referred to the Department of Justice office that deals with professional misconduct as well for disbarment by 2 state panels following deeply disturbing revelations that he surreptitiously obtained congressional Republicans' call logs. A Friday letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, led by Senator Marsha Blackburn, accused former President Joe Biden's DOJ of having spied on duly elected members of Congress and demanding that Smith be investigated by the department's Office of Presidential Responsibility. Quote, as part of Jack Smith's weaponization witch hunt, and the Biden DOJ issued subpoenas to several telecommunications companies in 2023 regarding our cell phone records, getting access to the time, recipient, duration, and location of the calls placed on our devices from January 4th, 2021 to January 7th, 2021. Blackburn and the other lawmakers said. We've yet to learn of any legal predicate for the Biden Department of Justice issuing subpoenas to obtain these cell phone records, and GOP lawmakers, including Senator Lindsey Graham, Tommy Tuberville, and Dan Sullivan, as well as Representative Mike Kelly. Elected officials also accused Smith, whose eventual federal cases against President Trump received materials from the FBI Arctic Frost Probe, of having infringed on the constitutional rights of elected officials and trampled on this separation of powers principle that underlies our system of government. This is especially true given the invasion of our privacy was directly connected to our core legislative function protected by the speech or debate clause of our Constitution. Republicans went on, to the best we could tell, Smith's team went on this fishing expedition for one simple reason: we are Republicans who support President Trump. The list of the redacted names and phone numbers. In concluding the missive, the federally scrutinized senators suggested that Smith be referred for disbarment to the Tennessee Board of Professional Responsibility and the New York Attorney Grievance Committee, since he is licensed to practice law in both states. The conduct that Jack Smith and his team engaged in harkens back to a dark chapter in American history that we have not seen since the days of J. Edgar Hoover and the completely corrupt investigation and prosecuting by the FBI and DOJ of the late Senator Ted Stevens of Alaska. They wrote, "We must ensure that we never return to these disgraceful eras." So, Jack Smith disbarment is on the table. Jim Comey wants special treatment. John Bolton walking in to the arraignment today. It's being reported prosecutors are presenting charges to a grand jury. This was 24 hours ago. It has now happened. 24 hours ago, Eric Doherty writes, it's been exposed just how screwed John Bolton is after being indicted under the Espionage Act with a total of 18 counts. Bolton might also be a target because he could know other deep state criminal activity. Absolutely. Check this out. This is on Fox.
Very difficult. Regs, there's no statute of limitations on this. He continued to possess classified documents.
Yeah, Will, I'll tell you, I've worked on these cases, both on the prosecution side and on the defense side. And I'll tell you, they are very difficult cases to defend against because it is, in essence, a simple analysis. Is the document classified? Is it in your possession? Did you purposefully possess the document in question? And then you reach other analyses. You look at what was the purpose for the possession to determine whether or not additional charges may be brought. Remember, though, I'm very mindful of the fact that Bolton has a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight. There's may be an effort to also get his attention and get him talking about other things that he may have information about. This is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. I think it's a difficult case to defend against. He, of all people, should know. Doesn't matter if it's old or new materials. If it's classified and you possessed it, then it could be a crime.
Just the tip of the iceberg. If you got value from this report, tab subscribe. My final thought is next. So here's what burns me up, though. James Comey leaked classified information, lied to Congress, and staged a coup against the president, yet he's demanding the judge ignore his criminal history. John Bolton hoarded state secrets in his house, emailed classified intel through his AOL like a grandpa spy, faces 18 Espionage Act charges. Meanwhile, grandmothers who walk through the Capitol face hard time. Pro-life protesters get dawn raids. Trump supporters get perp walked. It's not justice. It's protection for the protected class. The same deep state that spied on you, that weaponized the FBI, that turned the DOJ into their personal hit squad, now wants mercy? Here's my question. Should deep state criminals face the same treatment as January 6th defendants? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. And show your support for real justice. Grab some gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Yeah, let's go. Let's freaking go. All right. We got James Fade dropping $10. Thank you, James. Hello, N3 Patriots. Jennifer Gray dropping 10. Happy Friday, Patriots. Thank you for all you do helping with the 90. Where are we at, by the way? Let's take a look at that in a second. Donna Bravo, $2.99, a super sticker. Tom B420 dropping another 10. A good halftime show would be ALC playing the center of the field during an ice raid. Better than a gay bunny. That's hilarious. So we are at $42.99. We are $57 shy of hitting our goal. I think we'll do it tonight. It's Friday after all. We got more news to cover. What's happening in Chicago? Man, the footage out of Chicago is insane right now. It is insane. Wait till you see what we've got for you. It is just a smorgasbord of insanity. So, let's see. We got Pritzker. Holy cow. Okay, where do I want to start with this? I think we'll start with Homeland Security. All right. Right now, as we speak, Chicago's a war zone. Federal agents are dragging bodies out of illegal employment dens. Protesters wearing clown noses, actual clown noses. They're getting zip-tied outside of ICE facilities. Illinois State Police cracking skulls. And for the first time in American history, Antifa just got hit with federal terrorism charges. This isn't some planned operation next week. It's happening actually right now. The footage you're about to see is insane. The arrests are massive. Even Democrat Governor Pritzker is panicking, claiming that Trump has diminished capacity while his sanctuary city burns. What started at dawn has exploded into full-scale enforcement chaos, the underground economy being ripped apart. So keep on watching. While Chicago erupts and law enforcement restores order, Americans need real healing at home. After Jonathan Otto introduced me to red light therapy, my wife and I experienced transformation we didn't think were possible at our age. Her chronic pain and anxiety from her diagnosis gone. My own energy and recovery better than guys half my age. Major medical journals show 300% faster healing, pain elimination in minutes, even brain regeneration. The same technology costs thousands of dollars at clinics, but Jonathan's made it available for your home. Visit myredlight.com and use code NNN for exclusive savings. Don't wait. Get the healing technology that is saving lives. So the Department of Homeland Security posting this. FAFO. If you threaten or lay hands on our law enforcement officers, we will hunt you down and you will find out really quick. We'll see you cowards soon. And they posted this video, which looks like a bunch of Chicago thugs. The caption on the screen, ICE, we're on the way. Word on the street, cartels put a $50,000 bounty on you all. And Homeland Security says, yeah, sure. You want to F around? You're going to find out. And we have this. Governor J.B. Pritzker with Jen Psaki. Remember her? She said on Sunday, you're looking to prosecute ICE agents who violate the law. What would that look like? So now Pritzker wants to violate ICE agents. We're not even at the footage you're about to see. It is insane. The arrests that are happening. Thank God, though. Send a message. But here's the message Governor Pritzker is trying to say, that we're going to arrest ICE agents.
About that. Well, you said on Sunday that you were looking at prosecuting ICE agents who violate the law. What can you tell us about that? What would that look like?
Well, we don't know yet, because let's start with the fact that the federal agents typically have federal immunity, but they're not immune from the federal government holding them accountable and responsible. And so typically there are inspectors general, there are senior officials at agencies like ICE and CBP typically that will suspend somebody who's been accused or found to have broken the law. And as they suspend them, investigate it and then determine whether that person should be punished criminally or otherwise. The problem now, of course, is that Donald Trump has fired many of the inspectors general, or he's replaced them with political appointees. And so we don't know that anybody would be held accountable at the federal level. So we're looking at all of the options at the local level with county states attorneys, with attorneys general, to go after people when they're breaking Illinois law, when they're breaking local law. And we think that they have. You know, when they're driving through an area, someone's yelling at them and they decide to simply throw a tear gas canister out of the car as they're driving through at someone who's on the side of the road. That, it seems to me, is a violation of Illinois law. And so the question is, can we hold the officers, the agents, responsible when they do something like that? If it were a police officer, we could. If it was, you or me or just an average person throwing a tear gas canister out the side of a window at people, we could hold them responsible. So it seems like they ought to be held responsible for breaking local and state laws.
Okay, but who's going to hold you responsible for breaking federal law? Oh, that's right, Donald Trump. Keep trying, fatty. Keep trying, buddy. And speaking of lunatics, this is kind of off topic, but Mayor Brandon Johnson posted this 3 hours ago. With the first of its kind tax on social media companies, we're proposing that these corporations, not users, invest in some of the profit they make from selling our data to mental health care. So now all the companies that are working inside of Chicago, social media companies that have offices, they are now going to get taxed. Way to go, Mayor Brandon Johnson. All those companies are going to start moving out of Chicago very soon, too. So you think you're going to go ahead and try to collect more taxes on the people of Chicago, the companies in Chicago, because you can't figure out how to balance a budget, because you gave too much money to illegals? Yeah, it's only going to get worse for you, man. Only going to get worse. But it's getting worse for these Antifa terrorists outside of the Broadview facility. Lots of footage. Check this out. Brendan Gutenschwager, BG on the scene.
This is America right here. The fascist arm of America. People protesting. Look at the glee in their eyes. Look at the smile. Look at the way. Watch him love hurting me. He wants to hurt me.
All he's saying is clear the road. See, what these peaceful protesters are doing is they're obstructing justice. And they're having a drum circle at the same time.
To crush my boys the roadway. He wants to hurt me.
He wants to hurt me. He wants to hurt me. Look at they're waving Mexican flags. Chinga la migra! Yeah. Oh, but there's so much more. Liberal terrorists clashing with Illinois state troopers at 9:30 in the morning. It's Friday. Do these people not have to work? They're there at 9:30 in the morning.
The rule in...
Oh, wait a minute. They are working. I'm so sorry. They got to cash those Soros checks.
We've got action in Broadview, Illinois, about 25 minutes due west of Chicago. During the commercial break, we watched these Illinois state troopers move in on a group of ICE protesters. Here's the rule. The rule in Broadview, Illinois, the mayor said you cannot be there prior to 9 a.m. local time or 10 a.m. East Coast time. So that's about 45 minutes ago. And last Friday, there was a violation of that time when about 250 people gathered at this time a week ago. It seems to be a repeat of last week, and we are told one person arrested. A lot of noise so far, but we'll watch it throughout the morning and see whether or not it escalates. So wanted to share that with you near that ICE facility in Broadview.
Now, if you recall, they just took the fencing down at that facility. Here's more footage. Police in Illinois just charged into a crowd of leftist anti-ICE rioters, dragged and arrested them. Another day of FAFO. Playtime is over. Violence against federal agents is not being tolerated, so keep on arresting. Oh, yeah. Do they get paid extra when they get arrested? I think they do. The footage. Here's more. Protesters attempt to stopping an arrest. In Broadview, police pull the targeted individual away from the other protesters and carry out the arrest. More from Brendan Gutenschwager, BG on the scene. Now, of course, none of this would be happening if they didn't pull those fences down. Here is someone dressed as Lady Liberty. Well, that's going to hurt. That's going to leave a rash. I think the bigger question is, why is this Antifa thug wearing a thong? I think that's the bigger question. Is that part of their uniform? Okay, we got more. There was another one here from Jelly Belly. This is where he says, 8 hours ago, posting on X, the people around Donald Trump are taking advantage of his diminished capacity to break the law. Imagine that. J.B. Pritzker saying Trump has diminished capacity. We just lived through 4 years of a puppet president. Okay? And he wants to claim that Trump has diminished capacity? He says, whatever they do now, we won't forget. And we will hold them accountable.
It's clear that Donald Trump has diminished capacity, which I think is sad, that the people around him are not getting him help. And instead, they're just taking advantage of him. And that's what Stephen Miller is. You can tell, his rhetoric is so out of bounds. And then we know that he's the one who is advising Kristi Noem at DHS. He's the one who's advising Tom Homan, who's the kind of immigration czar, deportation czar. And of course, he's the spokesperson for this entire endeavor, including about deploying National Guard into cities. So, he seems like a dangerous individual, and he has the power of the presidency because the president isn't reining him in. And so that's why I'm talking about Stephen Miller. I think that we should focus on his actions. And let's remember, and I've said this for some time, they're not always going to be in office, but they will, other than the president who's now been given immunity by the Supreme Court. The people who serve for the president, including all the way down to ICE agents, can be held accountable when there's a change of administration who's willing to hold them accountable when they break the law. Now, Stephen Miller is clearly ordering people to break the law. So, he should know that, it may be 3 years from now that he is held accountable, but make sure, I think it's important for them to know that whatever they do now, it's not like we're going to forget, and it's not like we don't have a record of what they're doing. It's clear that Donald Trump has diminished capacity.
Here is the ICE deputy posing the question, why is Pritzker so adamant in letting criminal, illegal alien gang members, murderers, rapists, and other criminals run free in Chicago?
This is our officers are able to use our intelligence and targeting packages to go after the worst of the worst. Anybody that's been convicted of any crimes, we're able to target them, locate them, and ultimately remove them from the community. This is something that Governor Pritzker doesn't want us doing. He wants these gang members, murderers, rapists left out on the street. Like I said, we've arrested TDA gang members. We've arrested 18th Street gang members. We've arrested people that have been convicted of sex crimes, of child trafficking crimes. The list goes on. And we can read those rap sheets and we post them on our social media pages to tell the story of what we're doing at ICE, which is removing the worst of the worst. Our officers are
the worst of the worst. Here's another angle of the Statue of Liberty getting arrested.
You're impinging on our First Amendment right to free speech.
Let me see that dong, 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 dong. Oh, man.
Move back! Move back! Move back! I'm giving you a direct order. Move back now! Move back! You need to stand down and step back. Commander Owen, get your troops under the...
Arrest after arrest after arrest happening right now in Broadview. Here's Kash Patel 9 hours ago. The first ever Antifa terror lockup. He writes on X, for the first time, Antifa-aligned anarchist extremists have been hit with federal terrorism charges after a July 4th attack on an ICE facility in Texas. Law and order is back.
Well, let's talk about for a moment the arrest made at Prairieland. Okay, this is the ICE facility at Prairieland, Texas, which I guess is outside of Dallas. Allegedly, 2 Antifa people have been arrested, maybe more. Can you tell us a little more about that?
This is breaking news, Larry. Just hours ago, a grand jury indicted 2 members of an Antifa-affiliated cell that launched an attack on a detention facility attacking law enforcement and police officers. 20 individuals have been charged so far, but the key here is for the first time, under the president's authorities, designated Antifa as a domestic terror organization. We have charged these 2 individuals with material support to terrorism for their involvement in Antifa. This was a coordinated, planned attack by dozens of individuals to murder police officers. And Larry, a police officer was actually shot in the neck. These guys came and staged a scene at a detention center using fireworks, then brought in long guns and rifles. They were kitted out in bulletproof vests and masks and opened fire at law enforcement. This is what President Trump is prioritizing. We have to protect the men and women of law enforcement. And yes, Antifa exists. It's a terrorist organization. These are the first charges ever brought under this new designation. And this FBI is following the money, and we're going to dismantle these networks because people pay for this stuff. We're going to find them. They are equally criminally responsible as those that pull the trigger themselves.
So let's just one more moment on that point, because you've seen in the last couple of years, I mean, Antifa's been around, but people on the left and the far left say that Antifa doesn't exist. It's a state of mind, blah, 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 blah. You're saying 2 real people, domestic terrorists, okay? They were indicted by the grand jury. I mean, if they're not real, then how come 2 people were indicted and that they were involved in attacking the ICE facility? They have to be real. It's not a state of mind.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to read the first sentence of the indictment. It says the North Texas Antifa cell. That's literally the opening salvo in the indictment. And where do these people collaborate and come from? It's not just Texas. They're out burning courthouses in Portland. They're out committing destructive activities in Los Angeles. And the FBI has arrested dozens of these individuals. And thanks to our new investigative programs under President Trump designating these guys as domestic terrorism, we have opened up multiple field investigations across the country looking at the banking and financial facilitation network. We are treating them as terrorists, just like we do Al-Qaeda or ISIS. People pay for this destructive act of violence, and those people are going to be brought to justice now that we have the authorities we need to go after them.
Wow. All right. Terrific stuff. And
terrific stuff indeed, baby. It's happening. Antifa, as they try to pull scenes like this outside of Broadview, they're getting arrested for terrorism charges. More arrests from yesterday's Swap-O-Rama raid in Chicago. There's no swapping out your one-way ticket home now.
Hey man, leave it alone, bro. ¿Cómo hago, señora? Mire nomás, la señora llorando. You got the car, man? Think about her, bro. Hey, please, leave her alone. She just working here. She got babies, bro. ¿Algún número? Número, ¿a quién le habla? Pinche paisa. No, son chingaderas, brother. Hey, leave her alone, bro. Yo. Yeah, two and a half and a couple more. Why you not? Hey, why you not for my paper, bro? Hey, your fucking private property. Hey, she got babies, bro. Please, leave it alone, man. You got her, you got babies. Think about it. Hey, man. Ella tiene niños. No seas así, por favor, vela. Piensa tantito, hermano. Tú tienes babies. Cabeza de nopal y todavía tu familia viene.
I mean, these scenes are heartbreaking. There's no question about it. But these scenes would not be happening if these people came here legally. End of story. They came here illegally, set down roots, had a family, decided to work illegally in these Swap-O-Rama swap meets. You see them all over the place, especially in the Chicago area. And that's how they make their living. In fact, I saw one a couple weeks ago. It looked like, those people that drive around picking out garbage. They take the garbage and then they put it out and pick the best pieces and sell it. And that's how they make a living. All cash, undetectable, no taxes paid. And they're illegal. They have underground economies, and that's how they survive. Look at all this. Look at all the wares all over. So again, these scenes would not be happening if these people were here legally in this country. Let's be very clear. So while it's heartbreaking to see mothers getting arrested, yeah, it's a heartbreaking scene. But they made decisions, and they made the wrong decisions. They skipped the line. People who spend years in this country legally learn the rules. They go down to the Chicago facility, take the oath to this country, pledge allegiance to it, become citizens, fill out the paperwork, wait in line, pay lawyers thousands of dollars to navigate all the laws. They do it right. And these people are skipping the line. So while these tears may flow, those are tears of bad decisions. So don't let the footage draw you in too much. And that's the unfortunate truth here. ICE raided the rideshare area of Chicago Airport. 2/3 of the Uber drivers were arrested. If you recall, there was a story we did a couple, it must have been about 6 or 7 months ago. Somebody had actually interviewed, it wasn't just Uber drivers, it was like the DoorDash folks, the Uber Eats people, who were leasing the identity of somebody so they could use their identity on the app. And they're not, in some cases, don't even have driver's licenses. The person who actually is the account holder gives them a revenue share of that. They act as the front. and then the person goes on and does the work for them. Basically subcontracting out the DoorDash and Uber Eats. So it looks like this is also happening with Uber drivers. Now, when I take Uber, I always request professional drivers. Uber Black SUV, that's the only way that I travel for this very reason. Because at least professional drivers are going to be just that, professional drivers. Not somebody who has been subcontracted to take over someone's Uber account. Think about that. You don't even know, if that's the case, you don't even know who that Uber driver is. You get their picture. I mean, there have been multiple times where I've had, Uber Eats or DoorDash delivered, and the picture does not match the person. Multiple times. And they're only there in and out for just a minute. But imagine if that's your driver. You're supposed to have a driver that looks like the picture, but it's not even them. I mean, that's a huge, huge safety risk. Let's check in what happened at Chicago 11 hours ago. ICE raided the rideshare area at Chicago. 2/3 of the Uber drivers were arrested.
ICE raid at Chicago. Did you guys see they just did an ICE raid at Chicago O'Hare's rideshare parking lot? Like, as an American, you can't even get gig work anymore. Like, think about it. You have to compete to be able to drive around other people, or you have to compete to drop off people's food. So they did an ICE raid at the Chicago O'Hare parking lot, and they said it was at least 50 to 60 cars out there. Wow. And when they were done, there was only like 15. And they're saying that they're not suppressing our wages, right? So let me get this straight. They're not suppressing the wages, but you have to compete with more than double the amount of people who were supposed to be here. And that's not even counting that you're probably going to get less per ride because there's so many people willing to do the job. Of course they're willing to do it, dude. They're getting assistance. They're not having to pay for a car. They're barely having to pay for rent. Yeah, they can take less wage per ride.
So if you have value for this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what winning looks like. While Pritzker whines about diminished capacity, ICE is dismantling his sanctuary scam piece by piece. 2/3 of O'Hare's rideshare drivers arrested, Swaporama's underground economy shut down, and those Antifa cowards who firebombed a federal facility on July 4th, they're not activists anymore. They're terrorists facing federal time. Even Obama's pet judges can't save them now. The clown noses are coming off. The handcuffs are going on. For years, they told us enforcing immigration law was impossible, racist, and cruel. Today proved them liars. When you actually enforce the law, when you stop coddling criminals, when you treat terrorists like terrorists, order returns pretty fast. So here's the question. Should every sanctuary city mayor face federal charges for harboring illegals? Yes or no? Sound off below. And while Chicago burns, you can gear up with our American Badass collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. All right. Pothead Kenny coming in. What's up? $2. Thank you for brightening our weekend up. Did you guys see the post that I made last night? Oh, man, it was so funny. And we have this from Starch Manning. I finally figured out it's not about limited government, Christianity, or balanced budgets. It's evidently Christian nationalism and racism. Way to go, MAGA. Starch Manning dropping $5. Yeah, so last night I was messing around with Sora, and I decided that I would post a lullaby message to all of our patriots. And I'll show it for you right now.
Close your eyes, my friends, tonight. Let the stars hang soft and bright. Let the day drift out to sea. Let the moon keep watch for me. Rest your head, breathe in slow. Close your eyes, my...
The prompt for that was, Gary Franchi singing a sweet lullaby to his viewers while the president outside the White House in a presidential robe, while the president inside sleeps, dreaming of the art of the peace deal. That was the prompt. Oh, man. Dude, Sora is insane with what it's capable of doing. Gotta love it, though. All right, we're moving into our next topic. Just covered ICE. Now we got to cover what's happening with the No Kings event that will be taking place. Lots of discussion about that. And Michael Alfaro sending me a text message. New article dropped that I wrote on Epoch Times. Thailand has commissioned psychological warfare crimes. Okay, where's the article? Okay. You know, if they're texting me during a show, it means they're not watching the show. Michael? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move along. No King's Day, October 18th, 2025. Over 2,500 locations across America erupting in coordinated chaos disguised as democracy. They call it No Kings, but we've got the receipts. $32 billion from George Soros himself. $75 million from the Rockefeller Foundation. The Communist Party literally listed as a sponsor. Paid agitators already confirmed. This is not protest. It is professional revolution. While you sleep tonight, buses loading up, signs printing. And the same people who burned cities in 2020 are mobilizing again. Chuck Schumer is leading the charge after shutting down your government. The masks are off, the money trail is exposed, and now they're striking. And here is what is going down. Now, No King's Day chaos, it's not random. It's orchestrated by the same billionaires destroying your future. While they fund street riots, you need real protection. C60 Evo changed everything for my family. This Nobel Prize-winning molecule made lab animals live 90% longer. Now I know why. Brain fog vanished, joint pain eliminated. My wife's skin looks 10 years younger. This is not another supplement. It's cellular transformation. Chris Buras, he has perfected this in his Houston lab since 1991. It's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. Now visit the link, c60evo.com/NNN, and use code NNN for exclusive savings. Transform your health while they transform America. Don't wait. Now, just a few hours ago, Speaker Johnson had this to say about the No Kings rally. It's going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists.
They hate America. Now, tomorrow, the Democrat leaders are going to join for a big party out on the National Mall. They're going to descend on our Capitol for their much-anticipated so-called No Kings rally. We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally, okay? And I'm not sure how anybody can refute that. If you think about what's going to happen here tomorrow, you're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democrat Party. That is the modern Democratic Party.
The modern Democrat Party is Marxist, socialists, Antifa, anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing. That is the modern Democrat Party. Speaker Mike Johnson, just 4 hours ago, posted this official statement on his official account. It turns out the Hate America rallies are being funded by the billionaire who hates America the most. Is anyone surprised? Linking directly to Fox News and, of course, the picture attached, George Soros himself. Sarah Rose posting this. The No Kings protest is going to be lit. What's this? Okay, so we have men dressed in maids' outfits and That's how you protest. A man with bunny ears and a maid's outfit with a crown pasted to his outfit. Oh, these folks are on point. One person's sign says, "I'm a paid Antifa terrorist disguised as a grandma." Okay, so you're admitting it right there. Is that supposed to be a joke? Senator Ted Cruz, 6 hours ago, on his official account, George Soros is writing the checks financing some of the groups behind No Kings, as well as previous political violence in our cities. That's how left-wing political violence happens. Different groups don't always talk to each other because they don't have to. Of course, he has a bill out called the Stop Funders Act and enables the government to hold financiers of left-wing violence accountable.
Well be riots. And the Democrats today are a party of radical interest groups. Now, I will say one of the most important things President Trump has done recently is he has pledged that he's going to go after Antifa. And what I've been urging is follow the money, cut off the money. And you look at this No Kings rally, and there's considerable evidence that George Soros and his network is behind funding these rallies, which may well be riots all across the country. And Soros is writing the check. And so I've introduced legislation called the Stop Funders Act that would add rioting to the list of predicate offenses for RICO. Why is that? Because it would let the Department of Justice use RICO, racketeering, to prosecute the money that is funding the anti-Semitic protests on campuses, the pro-open border protest in L.A. and other cities, and these No King protests. Anyone that is supporting rioting and violence, it lets you go after the money. And I'll tell you, there are more than 200 left-wing groups behind these No Kings rallies this weekend. They deliberately are blind to what each of the others are doing. That's part of how they avoid accountability. RICO is designed for precisely that sort of criminal enterprise. And so I believe the Senate, we ought to take up and vote on and pass our Stop Funders legislation. And
RICO, baby. RICO charges, if you recall, President Trump said that very same thing from the Oval Office. No Kings 2.0. Full cash analysis. The protest industrial complex is extremely network coordinated and flush with cash. Follow the riot incorporated money. Now, this is a spreadsheet, and you can see some of the names of the organizations that are part of it. How much money the organizations are getting, millions and millions of dollars. Here is a list of the partners of the No Kings rally. American Atheists, Americans United Beyond the Ballot, Capital Indivisible, Climate Defenders, Climate First, Care Action. Let's see, we have Democratic Club, Alliance to Reclaim Our Schools, Art Workers United, Blue Future. Let's see, Climate Museum, Catholics. Like, this is the list of all the groups. Center for Biological Diversity. Build Resistance. The ACLU. So the spreadsheet here shows all these groups and all the money. No Kings partners. This is a list of all the No Kings partners. And it looks like these, holy cow. At the very top, I know you can't see it. It gets cut off. The Arabella Group, Buffett Group, Ford Group, Rockefeller Group, Soros Group, Tides Foundation. Holy God. Oh my goodness. $294 million. Almost $300 million contributed to this. Holy cow, dude. This is absolutely insane. So, yeah, this is not some kind of little grassroots thing. This is a highly coordinated effort. I mean, it's pages and pages of sponsors' logos. Sponsors, page after page, 3 pages. I mean, I can't even go through them all. Oh, my goodness. This is insane. Wow. Follow the money. No kings. That money goes right to George Soros. And here is a map of the No Kings protest events, October 18th. You can see the breakdown. I'll do another zoom for you guys so you can see it better. Coast to coast. This is Ed Krasenstein. Coast to coast. Look at them all. Highly concentrated in urban areas. Look at that. Midwest. Look at them all. These are not spontaneous grassroots efforts, friends. This is a highly coordinated, well-funded communist revolution happening right here in the United States. And you just heard it from Speaker of the House, Senator Cruz, even from the Oval Office. Follow the money. Arrest them for RICO charges. Jason Storm Chaser writes, funny thing, the reason we don't actually need a No Kings rally is because a bunch of white Christian colonizers held one 250 years ago. No Kings, right? C3 writes, how long has their reign in government been? Chuck Grassley, 50 plus years. Chuck Schumer, 44 plus years. Mitch McConnell, 40 plus years. Nancy Pelosi, 38 plus years. Maxine Waters, 37 plus. Bernie Sanders, 34 plus years, etc. Trump, 4 years, 9.5 months, but Donald Trump is a king. 7 hours ago, the White House memeing hard. If no kings, and explain this. Democrats shut down. New York, king of sombreros. Chuck Schumer wearing a sombrero, the famous sombrero meme. Here's, of course, they were White House was quote tweeting Chuck Schumer.
This weekend's No Kings rallies will be an affirmation about what America is all about. We are a democracy in America. We have no kings, despite the fact that Trump has even said he wants to become one and is acting in ways that are a threat to our democracy. And I say to my fellow citizens, do not let Donald Trump or Republicans intimidate you into silence. That's what they want to do. They're afraid of the truth. Republicans are going apoplectic because Americans are exercising their right to free speech. I say to Americans, show the world how much we love this country, how much we love our values, how much we love our democracy and want to preserve it. And don't be afraid. Trump and the Republicans want you to be afraid. They don't like free speech when it's free speech they don't want to hear. But we're not going to let them intimidate us. For weeks, Republicans have tried to vilify these rallies. Mm-hmm. They call them the most ridiculous of terms, hate America rallies. These are love America rallies.
Yeah, right.
They call them terrorist rallies.
Yes, they are.
That's just despicable. Do not let Donald Trump or Republicans intimidate you into silence.
Yeah, well, you know what? Chuck Schumer can cry all he wants on the Senate floor. But the reality is like I just showed you, these are not grassroots actions. See, I cut my teeth in my early days of activism in the street, doing true grassroots activism. I wasn't paid by any organization. I was there because my heart told me to be there. Okay, we didn't have sponsor lists and hundreds of millions of dollars backing us. No, we went out in the street. We had small donors, people giving us $5 and $10 so we could buy DVDs and burn them and pass them out. That's true grassroots activism. What you're going to see on Saturday is AstroTurf terrorism. Crybaby alert. Tears of the Left post this 24 hours ago. George Conway goes full Broadway with his No Kings speech. Gave the most dramatic history lesson since that one kid who cried during Hamilton. He called authoritarianism a cancer that's metastasizing in America. shouting about soldiers in the streets like he's narrating a disaster movie. Listen.
Chile, Russia. The symptoms are here today. Masked agents grabbing people off the streets, the government threatening and prosecuting political opponents, attacks on free speech, soldiers in our cities. We thought it couldn't happen here. Other places? Sure. Italy in the 20s, where fascism was born. Chile, Russia, Venezuela, Hungary. And now the disease is growing. The cancer metastasizing in America now. But there's a cure. It requires you. On October 18, at the nationwide No Kings protests, Americans will stand up peacefully for what makes America, America. Scan the QR code to find your local No Kings event.
Okay, again, sure, they might be peaceful during the day. Wait till the sun goes down, because that's when it all goes to hell. No Kings, you say? What's Adam Carolla saying?
California. If somebody said to me, Adam, I'm going to be the king of California. And I was like, okay, what's your platform, king? Well, we're going to close the border. Oh, okay. Clean up graffiti. All right. Get this homeless problem situated. Yeah.
Stop the illegal flow of drugs.
Stop the illegal flow of drugs and pull the plug on the bullet train, which is going nowhere, but I'm going to clean up San Francisco and LA. I'd go, king away.
Yeah.
King away. Go knock your kingly crown off trying to do all the I'm happy you're doing now.
I love that these are also the same people that love Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and probably want him to be king.
Yes.
You know, it's like, wait a second. I thought we were anti that, like the royal family. You're anti-kings and fascists, but you support them in Cuba and China. And
they're a little inconsistent, is what I would say. If somebody said to me,
inconsistent indeed.
I'm going to be the...
Okay, let's keep going. Hakeem Jeffries continues to defend the Hate America protests the Democrat Party has planned.
Consistent, the notion that the No Kings rallies is anything other than a patriotic act consistent with the First Amendment right to express yourselves and petition the government for a change in policy continues to reveal that Republicans are clueless as it relates to the Constitution of the United States of America, or they continue to lie for political reasons. Right? There's nothing more patriotic in America than expressing yourself, particularly when it comes to expressing yourself in a peaceful manner related to disagreements that you have.
Okay, Timo Obama. Now, again, I say these protests, a lot of them, sure, there's probably good meaning people in them. But then the agitators who are paid to disrupt and destroy, they're the ones that turn them into terrorist acts. Here's Harmeet Dillon. Happy Friday from her.
And Justice back. Happy Friday, also known here in D.C. as the No Kings Day protest. Everyone will be glad to know that I haven't encountered any kings here in my time working in D.C. here in the swamp. I have encountered a lot of really hardworking American patriots who are working hard to bring sanity and justice back at the DOJ. Proud to be part of that team. And I hope everyone stays safe from crazy Marxists who have organized this protest today. First Amendment is very important. We believe in that. And I hope everyone stays safe out there.
Stay safe out there. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So No King's Day isn't a protest, it's a test. Will America fall for another billionaire-funded color revolution? Soros dumping $32 billion, Rockefeller kicking in $75 million, the Communist Party signs an official partner. They expect you to believe this is grassroots. They're not even hiding it anymore. Same playbook from 2020, paid agitators, coordinated chaos, media cover. But here's what's different. Now we have the receipts. We know who's paying. We know who's playing. We know their game. So while Nancy Pelosi tweets about California propositions and career politicians with 40-year reigns called Trump a king, the real oligarchy funds street theater to keep you distracted. So the question is this: should organizing riots with foreign money be prosecuted as sedition? Yes or no? Let's have a conversation. And show them you see through their psyop. Gear up at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. All right, they may march, but Sunday, Trump is still their king. All right. What's up? We got Inbred Outlook dropping $10. What's up, man? I love and 3, 2, like and subscribe and give what you can. We don't get the truth in very many other places. Love you, Gary. Love you, Inbred. And he came back with a 20 spot. I'll be there at Pothead Kenny for information. I don't think the shutdown's bad. It's destroying evil Democrats because America's becoming awake now. I opened the gym beam tonight. Should be interesting in chat. Yeah, baby. Hit the beam. Oh, that would be nice. I haven't had a drink in a while. You know, I do enjoy having a nice bourbon now and again. We're at $79. We're only $20 away from hitting our goal. That means 2 people need to step up. Only 2 people who are watching live, $10 each, or 4 people at $5. Make it simple. Or 20 people at $1. Right? You tell me. Who is going to be the one to put us over the top tonight? And speaking of over the top, we have got some wild stuff happening in the world of technology. I love technology. So we put together a nice little segment for you. Tom B420 coming in with a 10 spot. Right on, man. Thank you. We are almost there, guys. Almost there. Who's going to be the one to drop the 10, the 5, or the 10 signals? Signals. Prism Ward coming in at a 5. Dan Thompson coming in at 1. Yeah. Super sticker from Prism. Dan Thompson, no message necessary. Just a $1 bill. We are now $4 away. $4 is all it is going to take. Okay. The future just arrived, and it's wearing an American flag. While China steals our tech and Europe regulates itself into irrelevance, Elon Musk robots are learning martial arts. Personal EVTOLs are taking to American skies. Palmer Luckey's Anduril is deploying AI-powered helmets that turn soldiers into battlefield gods. This is not science fiction anymore. It's happening right now. The same Silicon Valley they told you to fear is building America's next century of dominance. Optimus robots doing kung fu. Eagle Eye systems giving our troops superhuman awareness. Flying vehicles turning civilians into pilots. The technological revolution they promised would enslave us? Well, we're weaponizing it instead. What you're about to see changes everything. While America builds the future, your body deserves cutting-edge technology too. After Jonathan Otto introduced me to red light therapy, everything changed. My wife's chronic pain and anxiety eliminated my energy and recovery like I'm decades younger. Now, this is not pseudoscience. Major medical journals confirm 300% faster healing, instant pain relief, even brain regeneration. NASA researched it. The FDA cleared it. The same panels that cost thousands at clinics, Jonathan's made available for your home. 9 specific wavelengths, hospital-grade components, 0 EMF exposure. Visit myredlight.com and use code NNN for the best deal available. Don't wait months for appointments. Get tomorrow's healing technology today. The link is in the description. So tomorrow's technology is here. This is the Optimus robot. AI is developing at a super crazy pace. It's been 2 years since Musk introduced the Optimus robot, and today it already knows Kung Fu. Sentient AGI is one of the leaders of crypto AI and sets the pace for everyone. I believe it can change the crypto space, blah, blah, blah. Look at this.
one was.
Dude, you know they are going to get these things to carry guns. I tweeted at Elon Musk. I said, when Optimus hits the public, can I get mine to look like this? That's what I want. I want one that looks like C-3PO. Hell yeah. Dude, I totally want one. I totally want to get one. What if I had an Optimus robot as my co-host? That would be freaky, man. I don't know how fast these things are, but man, they're learning Kung Fu. That's scary. What else is scary is that there are actual senators who think that you can burrow a hole to build a railroad to Hawaii. Yes, Elon Musk, he is doing the whole boring company. But you can't, I mean, Trump was mocking a senator from Hawaii who wanted a tunnel from the mainland to Hawaii. Listen.
He wants a railroad. A senator that wanted, remember, from Hawaii, she wanted a tunnel from the mainland to Hawaii. Then she said, well, we can't do that, so we're going to build a railroad to Hawaii. Do you remember? She's a current sitting senator, a Democrat. She wants a railroad to go to Hawaii, right? You know who that is, right? She's another beauty.
That was during the meeting with Zelensky today. Big moves on the Russia-Ukraine peace deal. Here's another one. This is a competitor to the Optimus robot. Robert Scoble. Hey, Tesla, how about a competition? We get a pizza. Who can get a pizza out of a robotaxi in my front door the fastest? This is skilled AI. Look at this robot scaling. Holy cow. Jumping over a stack. Look at that. Wow. That is like with human-like precision. Look at that. You've got to be kidding me, man. Look at this. It's going to start. Wow. What skilled AI? That's the name of this specific robot. What does it say? No robots beyond this point. There's a sign. The robot reads it and says, I'm not going beyond this point. What? No, the robot goes under this. Come on. All right, so that's a big red flag right there. That's a big red flag right there. Here's more. This is another Optimus robot at the Tron Ares premiere. Facing off against Jared Leto. You gotta be kidding. Okay, Jared Leto doesn't do anything. He just stands there and watches. Here's another Optimus robot video. Pouring popcorn at a Tesla event. The dexterity, the accuracy, handing it off to the child. And waving at the child even. Wow. We are living in the future, folks. Speaking of the future, we always want to have flying cars. Well, I'll take one of these. This is the Jetson 1. This is back in July. Well, now they are hitting the market. You can actually buy one of these things. They only fly for like 20 minutes, so good luck. Like, what happens after 20 minutes? You crash? Emergency landing? Do an emergency landing in that forest. The Jetson 1 has just landed. Had its first test flight. This is back in July. But like I said, they're now available.
One only has a Polish company Jetson have just completed their first test flight of the Jetson 1 with a pilot on board. These super small drone-like eVTOLs are being targeted at search and rescue missions on mountainous areas. Their compact size allegedly gives them an advantage over helicopters in getting access to difficult to reach terrain. However, this aircraft appears to be limited by the same issues facing all VTOLs being developed currently. Aside from the regulatory hurdles, the Jetson 1 only has a flight time of 20 minutes, which may limit its use case to a last mile scenario. Traditional helicopters, on the other hand, have 2.5 to 5 hours of flight time. As batteries' weight to power output scales exponentially, electric vehicles of all types become increasingly less efficient as they have to carry around heavier battery packs. Still, this represents a major step forward in the eVTOL space, and you never know, we may actually see our own personal drones coming to market in the next few years.
I mean, what kind of scares me about those things is that the rotors are exposed. And I guess they are exposed because they are maybe adds more weight to the vehicle. I think the weight capacity is like 250 pounds for those things. This is September 8th. Palmer Luckey picked up his Jetson 1 delivery.
All that, I locked it. Yeah, all good. So I've done all that. I locked this, and the next thing I do is I push this for 1 second. Yeah. I should yell that I'm clear. Starting.
That's pretty cool. 20 minutes though. I think they run for about $150,000.
And the next thing I do is I push this for 1 second.
I mean, it's basically like it's a scaled up quadcopter. You know, a scaled up drone, like those little drones you see flying around. Scaled up, larger battery, larger engines, larger props, and a cage to hold a person. Still pretty damn cool though. 3 days ago, flying cars, or eVTOLs, are a new class of aircraft that's been attracting billions of dollars in investments. Bloomberg Premier visits the companies and experts trying to get the technology off the ground. Jetson Aero is one of them. 3 days ago, Bloomberg Originals.
Sitting there. And so for 11 years, I've been doing drones with camera gimbals. These drones were getting bigger and bigger. And at some point, I asked myself the question, what if we scale it so I could sit in there and pilot myself?
That's exactly what I just said.
He'll switch in.
Probably everyone who first saw Jetson 1 noticed it's not like the rest of the eVTOL. It needs to be exciting. It has to be like a sports car.
eVTOLs are a new class of aircraft that are able to take off and land vertically and cruise like a plane. And they're electric. That means they're powered by electric propulsion. Like a luxury sports car or ATV, Jetson's eVTOL is designed for personal use and can't be flown commercially. It's also not cheap. The Jetson 1 could set you back $128,000, and it's sold out through 2026. But not all eVTOLs are designed for personal thrill-seeking. One of the biggest commercial applications for the eVTOL is the air taxi, carrying passengers for short hops across crowded cities.
So for 11 years, I've been doing drones with...
That's pretty cool, man. $128,000. Is there a financing plan for that? Described as a Formula One racing car for the sky, the Jetson 1 is an electric-powered V2L sky toy that can hover, bank, and reach speeds of up to 63 miles an hour. Here is the Jetson Air Games. This just happened. Since the very first Jetson prototype left my living room, Tom's Patan writes, it was obvious it was destined for racing. Now, for the first time ever, we executed a 4-ship formation flight followed by high-speed pylon race.
I'm actually going to take the aircraft and hoist it through pylons. The Jetson. There's 4 aircraft.
I gotta say, man, that is pretty damn cool. Watching these things race around like this. It's those rotors that freak me out, man. One gets clipped, flies right into that cockpit, pilot's gone. I mean, there's got to be some safety protocols built into these things, I'm sure. But it's still pretty damn cool to watch these things. 20-minute flight time, though. Not very practical, just for fun. I mean, how long does it take to charge it? I think as battery technology gets better and can hold more, these things will certainly have more practical use. I mean, can you imagine like flying over to a friend's house with one of those things in the neighborhood? Now that would be pretty cool. Speaking of cool, we've got these Palmer Luckey 48 hours ago. Same guy who just took delivery of his own Jetson 1. He's the founder of a company called Anduril. He says we have to get off the Chinese supply chain. It's not just things that are literally made in China, but even things that are dependent upon China. Dependence upon communist China is a national security risk. Palmer Luckey tells us the way. But now he is delivering these AI units, 100 units, new AI-powered helmet and digitally enhanced eyewear system called Eagle Eye to select U.S. Army personnel during the second quarter of the upcoming calendar year. The company's founder told reporters, we're in the production process of many of the components that are going into that, he said during a media roundtable hosted at the D.C. office to preview the tech ahead of a big reveal slated for Monday at AUSA conference. Extremely powerful capacity, going to get cheaper and cheaper. Eagle Eye's launch was when Luckey was fired from Facebook, which is now known as Meta. He quickly moved to pitch investors on a new plan to build tactical AR displays. One of my investors at the time told me I could not put all of our eggs in one basket because they believed it was an extension of a contest I had with Mark Zuckerberg. So it is designed for soldiers, featuring modular components that integrate various sensors and displays, provides real-time data, mission briefings, enhanced situation awareness, allowing soldiers to track threats and teammates while improving decision-making capabilities in the battlefield.
You can see through walls, you can see this is going to be crazy. Anyone who's making contact with the enemy is going to have superhuman augmented vision that allows them to never miss anything, never miss their shot. You are going to augment the vision of soldiers and give them superhuman perception abilities. You can see at night. You have extraordinary superhuman hearing. You're able to mark targets in the environment without projecting anything in the environment. You can seamlessly see in your heads-up display where all of your friends are, where all of your foes are, where all of the innocents and non-combatants are, and have that all just seamlessly presented to you as if you're Superman. You can see through walls, you can see through night, you can see through fog. You are Superman. This is gonna be crazy. Anyone who's making contact.
That is the next generation of warfare that is on the horizon. Augmented reality plus generative AGI means people can suddenly do expert level work they never trained for. And it's already here. Wow, look at this. Here's a woman wearing a augmented reality helmet, painting on a coffee house front window. And it's done in time lapse. So you can see, there she is. The augmented reality vision, you can see projecting that, pasting the image onto the mirror, onto the glass, and then tracing the image onto the glass perfectly. With no artistic talent at all. Just tracing the lines that were painted there in augmented reality. That is actually pretty cool. That is super cool. Same technology looks like being applied by Palmer Luckey for military contracts. Here is, this is from 4 days ago. This is a promotional video from Andril Industries. See before you're seen.
Bravo. Split. Alpha set. One Tango West container in the open. Bravo. Move out and engage.
Eagle Eye. It's like a frickin' video game. Here's another video from the same company.
Alpha.
Bravo Alpha. RP grid set. Over.
Alpha. Bravo. RP received and marked. I'm Oscar Mike.
I mean, the visual you're seeing right there is just like these first-person shooter games. You've got, you know, a live map on the left side of your screen. The only thing they're missing is a health meter. I think there's another one here. Here's another one. Plan the unfair fight. Eagle Eye offers the ultimate bird's eye view through a collaborative 3D sand table. Execute remote missions, rehearsals, integrate location-aware video feeds, coordinate movements, win the fight.
We'll rally the...
Weather's coming in heavy. What's the plan?
Mortars will strike the coastline at 3 points. At the same time, to the south, we'll send up ghosts and provide surveillance on the enemy command station.
And as we know, terrain is tough on this one and the rain isn't helping. Once out of the highlands, we'll rally the platoons in the valley floor by the river.
We just got new intel. The river's flooding has gotten worse. What about the ridgeline option?
Understood. All right, we'll route the high point.
That's the future. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is the real story they don't want you to see. Well, Democrats shut down the government and fund street riots. American innovation is building our escape. Musk Optimus robots aren't toys. They are the future workforce that makes Chinese labor obsolete. Palmer Lucky's eagle eye isn't just tech, it's the edge that makes our soldiers unbeatable. And those EVTOLs taking off aren't just rich boy toys. They are the logistics revolution that ends our supply chain slavery to Beijing. Every kung fu move Optimus learns, every AI enhancement to our warfighters, every domestic factory that opens, that's another nail in the coffin of the globalist control. They want us dependent, weak, and begging. Instead, we're building the arsenal of tomorrow. The question, though, should America ban all Chinese components from defense technology immediately? Yes or no? Drop your answer. Prove you're ready for the future. Check out shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. The robots are rising, but just make sure they're ours. All right, you guys came through. You guys came through fierce. This earbud just wants to keep popping out of my ear. Let's see. Tom B420 dropping $5. Yeah, baby. Inbred Outlook dropping $20. No, you rock, sir. Irving back with a 25 spot. Thank you, sir. Alice Cersei, $4.99. You guys all came through. You guys are all heroes today. Putting us over the top. Our final tally for the show, $150.98. How amazing. God, I love you guys. Well, it is the weekend. And I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load up that lullaby song because it was so funny. And I'll play it. Brian, I'll let that play us out after I read the piece. Where is it? Oh, here's the. I didn't play this one for you guys, but this is the one I posted in the afternoon.
And the doors are 12:36 and the sun's on high. The lantern burns bright neath a freedom sky. Though the halls are still and the doors are shut, our spirit won't fade. We've had enough. It's 12:36 and the
Man, AI is just crazy. Here's the video I made for day 17 of the shutdown.
Day 17. 9 senators refused to vote. That's all it took to collapse everything. Someone kept the power on. Question is why?
Security breach. Level 7. Lockdown initiated.
9 senators, 9 votes. Someone planned this collapse, and they're watching to make sure it stays collapsed.
Day 17. So I'll post another one on the X channel. Make sure you're following us there for day 18, day 19. You can keep track of this storyline. So what a show. What a day. What a moment in American history we're living through. We started with Chuck Schumer's shutdown disaster, the man who's been in the Senate for 44 years calling Trump a king while he lords over a government he just crashed. Even CNBC can't cover for him anymore. The Democrats control everything and still manage to shut it down for their $1.5 trillion wish list. The polls are crushing them. Their media allies are jumping ship and the narrative is dead. Then we expose the deep state's double standard in real time. James Comey caught lying to Congress, demanding special treatment. John Bolton pleads not guilty on 18 espionage charges. The same men, who weaponize our agencies against us, now want mercy. And we can't let them get it. The reckoning has arrived. Then we took you to Chicago, where ICE is restoring order, one arrest at a time. 2/3 of O'Hare rideshare drivers gone. Underground markets shut down in Antifa for the first time ever. They're facing federal terrorism charges. Not protest, not activism, terrorism. Because that's what happens when you actually enforce the law. And of course, tomorrow the No King PSYOP goes live. We showed you the money. $32 billion from Soros, $75 million from Rockefeller. The literal Communist Party as a sponsor. Over 2,500 locations, paid agitators confirmed. They're not even hiding it. While career politicians with 4-decade reigns call Trump a dictator, the real oligarchy funds chaos in your streets. And through it all, American innovation is building our escape route. Optimus robots learning kung fu, eagle eye systems turning soldiers into tactical gods, eVTOLs revolutionizing mobility. We're not just decoupling from China, we're leaving them in the technological dust. So to everyone who sent in super chats tonight, you guys are the backbone of independent media. Your support keeps the truth flowing when they want it stopped. So thank you for making the Raw Feed the fastest growing news show in America. Tell a friend about what you saw tonight. Text them the link. Share it on social. The algorithm can't stop word of mouth. If you want to wear your support, hit up shop.nextnewsnetwork.com because patriots are done being silent. Tomorrow they march. Tomorrow they rage. Tomorrow they show their face. But Sunday morning, Trump's still their king. The deep state's crumbling, and America is still rising. This has been the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi. Keep your powder dry, your eyes open, and your faith strong. We'll see you next time. Same channel, same fight, same mission, saving the Republic, one broadcast at a time.
To see, close your eyes, my friends, tonight. Let the stars hang soft and bright. Let the day drift out to sea. Let the moon keep watch for me. Rest your head, breathe in slow. Close your